यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Shri Shri Panchatattva ki Shri Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Dev Bhagavan ki Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ashta Sakhi Vrinda ki अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखाकरोति वाचालं पङ्गोरं गायते गिरिं यत्प्रियातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधरा श्रीवासादिगौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9, Text 24. Devalinga pratichanna स्वर्भानुर्देव संसदि प्रविष्टा सोमम् अपिबक् चन्द्रार्काभ्यां ससुचितः। देवलिङ्गा प्रतीचन्ना स्वर्भानुर्देव संसदि प्रविष्टा सोमम् अपिबक् चन्द्रार्काभ्यां ससुचितः। देवलिङ्गप्रतिच्छन्ना स्वर्भानुर्देव संसदि प्रविष्टा सोमम् अपिबक् चन्द्रार्काभ्यां ससुचितः। देवलिंग प्रतिच्छन्न Vaishnavis. Word by word translation. Devalinga pratichannaha, covering himself with the dress of a demigod. Swarbhanuhu, Rahu, who attacks and eclipses the sun and moon. Deva Samsadi, in the group of the demigods. Pravishtaha, having entered. Somam, the nectar. Apibat, drank. Chandra Arkabhyam, by both the moon and the sun. Shuchitaha, was pointed out. Translation. Rahu, the demon who causes eclipses of the sun and moon, covered himself with the dress of a demigod, and thus entered the assembly of the demigods and drank nectar without being detected by anyone, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The moon and the sun, however, because of permanent animosity toward Rahu, understood the situation. Thus, Rahu was detected. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mohini Murti, was able to bewilder all the demons, but Rahu was so clever that he was not bewildered. Rahu could understand that Mohini Murti was cheating the demons, and therefore he changed his dress, disguised himself as a demigod, and sat down in the assembly of the demigods. Here, one may ask, why the Supreme Personality of Godhead could not detect Rahu? The reason is that the Lord wanted to show the effects of drinking nectar. This will be revealed in the following verses. The moon and sun, however, were always alert in regard to Rahu. Thus, when Rahu entered the assembly of the demigods, the moon and sun immediately detected him, and then the Supreme Personality of Godhead also became aware of them. If you like to repeat the translation. Rahu, the demon who causes eclipses of the sun and moon, covered himself with the dress of a demigod, and thus entered the assembly of the demigods and drank nectar without being detected by anyone, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The moon and the sun, however, because of permanent animosity toward Rahu, understood the situation. Thus, Rahu was detected. The most significant point in this verse, Devalinga pratichannaha, disguising himself. What is the relevance of this story in this particular juncture of Srimad Bhagavatam, where this great demon, Rahu, basically illusioned everybody and drank nectar? The jivas have a tendency to want to imitate the Supreme Lord. The jivas have a tendency to enjoy. And that is the reason we come into this material world. Rahu has the same reason. He wants to enjoy the material world. In fact, there is a mission of the Lord in this whole pastime. The Lord has a mission to protect the demigods and to cheat the demons in a way to also protect them. Just as Krishna protects us, sometimes by providing certain necessities and needs we want, and sometimes preventing our desires from being fulfilled. But still, just like Rahu is demonstrating here, he is not cooperating with the mission of the Lord. He wants to have a separate plan. He wants to ruin the plan. So he tries to cheat. This is a big lesson. We are here in this material world and Krishna is saying, okay, everybody gets a chance. When Prabhupada is saying here, why even the Supreme Lord did not detect, is because Krishna wanted to show the effects of drinking nectar. So the effects of drinking nectar is basically what happens to Rahu. And what happens to the jivas when we come into this material world and try to drink the nectar. What is the nectar? The nectar are the material facilities, the material desires that we try to fulfill. And what is the result? Just like Rahu's head is going to be cut off, we also remain unsatisfied, incomplete, regardless of how much nectar we try to drink in this material world. Our nectar we seek in different objects of senses. Maybe we try to gain security in a different way than Rahu is trying to gain his security. He wanted position. What position? He thought he deserved to be what the demigods are. He wanted the position of the demigods. So similarly, that nature is reflected in us, that we think we deserve more than what we have. In fact, in Vedic astrology, Rahu represents those desires which are forbidden, those desires which we don't actually deserve. And in our astrological charts, Rahu, wherever he is placed, indicates where is that desire and how are we trying to break the rules. Before we think negatively about Rahu, before we start thinking how popularly the belief is, oh, Rahu is a bad planet, oh, he's a terrible planet, he's not good, we have to look into what is his purpose. How did the Supreme Lord utilize this whole story of making Rahu as one of the Navagrahas? Rahu became one of the 9 major planets, so he is part of Vedic astrology. And his function is to filter the jivas who are trying to progress towards Krishna by filtering our material desires. Unless and until we are purified, we cannot cross over. We cannot go beyond astrology or Vedic planetary influences. Who is Rahu? He is not ordinary. Prahlad Maharaj is the uncle of Rahu. Rahu's mother was Simhika. Simhika is the daughter of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons and 1 daughter. So Simhika is that daughter. So Rahu is a nephew of Prahlad Maharaj. So he's not an ordinary person. He has the blood lineage of Prahlad Maharaj. So what this means to us is the demons also have a place in the universe. At the same time, their purpose is to filter out the material desires. So the Lord can only have intimate association with those who have overcome those desires which are not part of Lord's mission. So that's the function of the demons. And that is also the function in our own minds, in our own consciousness, when we are facing difficulties, when we are having desires which are not favorable for Krishna consciousness, we can still take shelter of the Lord and not just curse Rahu or Saturn or any other planet. Because it's not the planets which has a problem with us. It is us who have a problem. We are agitated by what they're trying to teach us. So often people ask, how do I pacify Rahu? How do I pacify Saturn? They are not agitated. We are agitated. We need to pacify our mind by chanting the holy names, by taking shelter of Krishna. We need to pacify our desires, which are going against our own benefit. Because Rahu thought, oh, here is a shortcut. let me do this. But he did not think of the consequence. So Rahu is that planet which makes us take risks against our own favor ultimately. So the tendency to cheat that we have is represented by Rahu. So Rahu reflects our own anarthas, which are related to the tendency to try to enjoy, tendency to have shortcuts, tendency to not cooperate with the mission of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes even when we are performing service amongst the association of devotees, which is very rare, we tend to have our own mission. We tend to have our own motives. And that's what actually gets us into problem. If we are always in alignment with the mission of the Lord, whatever the circumstance is, we will not become disturbed. Today is the appearance day of Shiva's Pandit. And we will shortly see how he was a personification of acceptance, personification of devotional service, to fully cooperate with the mission of the Lord and to not have a separate agenda. Often people ask, when will my Rahu end? When will this Rahu period end? And the answer is, whenever we learn our lessons. When will we get out of school? When we finish learning all the things we need to learn. Rahu is also the planet of transformation, of change. Rahu is that planet which causes every other planet to move. Without Rahu, the planets do not have movement. Rahu is also the planet that bewilders, causes confusion, causes chaos. And if we are devotees, the chaos and the confusion will bring us clarity. So going through that confusion, going through that material desire, we end up thinking, that's not what I really want. I want Krishna. We don't actually need astrology to look at our own anarthas, because the purpose of Vedic astrology is to help us gain faith in the scriptures, in the deities. And once we gain that faith, once we come to the platform of Shraddha, then anartha nivritti. So when we come to the process of finding our own weaknesses and working on them, that begins the development of the soul. And Vedic astrology is meant to bring us to that platform of looking at ourselves, looking at what we lack as a devotee. Because all the great devotees in the history, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they exemplify all the good qualities of all the planets. So, by becoming a devotee, we achieve all those qualities. To end this particular section, we have to be very careful to not approach Vedic astrology with a materialistic mentality, to not approach astrology or astrologers who may help us entangle ourselves more and more in the karma kanda way of thinking, because most percentage of astrologers do not have the proper training, do not come in the Vaishnava parampara, and therefore the remedies they may give you will only entangle us in karma kanda. For instance, wearing stones or performing certain sacrifices for demigods. These are basically karma kanda activities which is not really favorable. So we have to be extremely careful before we take shelter of astrology. Astrology in the real sense of Vedic astrology is perfect, but astrologers are not. They are conditioned by their own baggage, their own priorities. So we should be careful to not take these things too seriously, because I have seen many times devotees tend to take this too seriously and neglect the aspects of bhakti, neglect the aspects of sadhana, and give too much attention to give that place in our heart for something which is interpreted in a not so Krishna conscious way can prove dangerous for our progress. And we may solve the problem temporarily, like Rahu tried, but then we get the consequences. and we have to face it. One example, a lot of times people tend to say, oh, it's okay, we will solve that. But without learning the lessons, maybe we have to learn to be more humble. Maybe we need to learn to be more generous. Whatever is the devotional quality that Krishna wants us to learn, we need to become aware and not just take a painkiller to avoid the pain, but rather see why is that pain, which organ has a problem, and do a thorough check. So all the materialistic problems has a Krishna conscious solution. There's nothing that is not given by practicing sadhana bhakti. I'm saying this as an astrologer. Astrology can mess up one's life if it is not approached in a Krishna conscious way and the astrologer is not trained and qualified. Sakala graha balanine sarasi jaksha Nikhila Rakshakanine, Vishwavyapaka Nine, Ravichandra Buddhanine, Rahu Ketuvu Nine, Ravi Guru Vushaniyu Mangalanu Nine. This is a beautiful verse written by Purandara Dasa, who is also an incarnation of Narada Muni, as Srivas Thakur is. He appeared 500 years ago in South India, and he's one of the Vaishnava saints, who says, the strength of all the planets is you, Krishna. Nikhila Rakshakanine Vishwa Vyapakanine. You are the maintainer, you are the creator, and you are omnipresent. Ravichandra Buddhanine Rahu Ketuvu Nine. You are sun, you are moon, you are Rahu, you are Ketu. You are also Jupiter and Saturn, and you are the Mars, which will bring all auspiciousness to me and protect me. So this is the mentality of a devotee. We see all incidents, all situations as Krishna's mercy, and we try to learn from that. Perfect example of the Jiva Tattva, who personified perfect devotional service, is Srivas Thakur. Among the Pancha Tattva, Srivas Pandit is the only Jiva Tattva, the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. Jaya Jaya Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Gana Sarva Bhishta Purti Hetu Yanhara Smarana. All glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakura. In order to fulfill all my desires, I remember their lotus feet. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This story that's very relevant to this particular verse as well. With Srivas Pandit, there was this Brahmana, Gopal Chapal, who wanted to cheat. So he basically organized the whole cheating propaganda right in front of Srivas Pandit's house. And at night, he brought all kinds of abominable substances, non-edible substances, which Vaishnavas will never look and touch, wine and meat and all kinds of substances that is used in the worship of Durga. And he placed it in front of Srivas Pandit's courtyard. And in the morning, everybody noticed what had happened. When Srivas Pandit saw this, what did he do? He just said, Nitya Ratri Kari Ami Bhavani Pujana Amar Mahima Dekha Brahmana Sajjana. Gentlemen, every night I worship the goddess Bhavani. Since the paraphernalia for the worship is present here, now all you respectable brahmanas and members of the higher castes can understand my position. So Srivas Pandit did not fight back. He did not deny. He was like, he completely blew the plan of Gopal Chapal, because Gopal Chapal had imagined that Srivas Pandit will fight against that. But he said, Hare Krishna. So, similarly, in our lives, sometimes big obstacles can come, difficulties come, and if we become too adamant and try to fight it as if we have the strength, we sometimes fail. Another example from Mahabharata we can see. When Ashwatthama at the end of the war, he was so angry, he shot a Brahmastra. And when he shot the Brahmastra, all the Pandavas, including Krishna, bowed down, except Bhima. Bhima said, I can face this Brahmastra. This is nothing. He stood straight, almost to face the Brahmastra. And Krishna said, don't do that. Get down. Be respectful to the Brahmastra. So this is a great lesson we can learn from Srivas Pandit. He did not see Gopal Chapal as the cause of his misery or his problem or his reputation. He saw, oh, respect that fact. Oh, you want to defame me? Okay. Of course, we shouldn't imitate that. We should not imitate that. But the principle is, when difficulties come, when planetary influences are very strong, we shouldn't say, I'll face it. We should be humble and say, Krishna, please protect me. Oh, nothing can happen to me. I'm not going to fall down. I'm not going to face this difficulty. It's not the attitude of a Vaishnava. We have to see the examples and become more accepting. Maybe not, it's not easy to become accepting overnight, but as a meditation, we can pray to Srivas Pandit, who Shrivasera putre tanha hoilo para loka tabu Shrivasera chitte na janmila shoka. At that time, a calamity took place to Srivas Pandit. Srivas Thakur's son died. Yet, Srivas Thakur was not at all sorry. This is the greatness of a devotee who has complete faith in the Lord. That whatever is happening is the mercy of the Lord and he accepts. We can pray so that we can have that faith day by day increasing in our hearts regarding the plan of Lord Chaitanya. Se Navadvipe vase Pandita Srivasa Yanhara Mandire Hoila Chaitanya Vilasa. Srivas Pandit resided in Navadvip. Lord Chaitanya enjoyed many pastimes in his house. Sarvakalachari bhai gaya Krishna nama Trikale karaye Krishna puja Ganga snana. Srivas Pandit and his three brothers continually chanted the names of Krishna. They would take 3 baths daily in the Ganga and then worship Lord Krishna. And the 4 brothers were Srivas, Sri Rama, Sripati and Srinidhi. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed himself and he called for Advaitacharya Srivas Pandit and he said, you were all praying for me to appear, descend on this earth. And now I have appeared. And he revealed himself to all his intimate associates. At that time, Srivas Pandit, Harishe Purnita Hoila Sarva Kale Vara Dandaya Stuti Kare Yudi Dui Kara. Srivas' entire body became filled with ecstasy. And he stood up with folded hands and began offering prayers to the Lord. Sahaje Pandita Bada Mahabhagavata Agya Pai Stuti Kare Yena Abhimata. Srivas Pandit was a natural scholar and a Mahabhagavat devotee. Having been ordered by the Lord, he offered his heartfelt prayers. First, Srivas Pandit started a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Lord Brahma, after his bewilderment. after the Brahma Vimohana Leela, and Krishna had smashed the pride of Brahma, who had stolen the calves of Krishna in Vrindavan, and Brahmaji came in front of Krishna and offered the prayers. So Srivas Pandit started to offer that prayer, that particular verse. And then he composed beautiful glorifications about the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who stood there. And Srivas Pandit glorified Lord Chaitanya thus. Unto the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Vishwambar, whose dress is like a yellow cloud, I make my namaskara. I bow before that Krishna, whose mother Sachi's son, bedecked with gunjamala and peacock plume, bright as the sun, bright as a million moons whose cooling rays eclipse the stars. To Gangadas Pandit's Nimai, 100 namaskaras. With horn of buffalo and cowherd stick and bamboo flute, Lord Krishna played, and you are He, the Godhead, Supreme Truth. The Vedas sing the glories of Krishna, Nanda Kumara, and thou art He, and be so before your feet, my namaskara. My birth and work have reached complete fulfillment here today. My life has dawned anew. Auspiciousness is mine today. My ancestors have surely found salvation on this day. My home and wealth have reached their true perfection on this day. My fortune knows no earthly bounds upon this holy day. The blissful vision of your holy feet blessed me today. One of those verses, Srivas Pandit says, Nana Maya Kari Tumi Amara Vanchila Saji Duti Adi Kari Sakali Bahila. You have deceived me. Srivas Pandit is saying, you have deceived me through various illusions. You have even carried my flower basket and dhoti. So this is the moment where Srivas Pandit is realizing how Nimai would do so many services to Srivas Pandit, like carrying his dhoti after being washed, carrying his flower basket, so to assist Srivas Pandit from performing puja. And Srivas Pandit is becoming bewildered actually. How is it possible that the Supreme Lord, how did I allow this from happening? And immediately he composes himself and he's saying, it's okay, I'm not worried about it anymore, I'm not bewildered about it, and I'm not scared also, I'm fearless now that you're present right before me. And after that is when he composes all this about how auspiciousness is mine today, and my ancestors have found their salvation, my wealth and home have reached true perfection. So he goes on saying that right after that verse. And after Srivas Pandit offered these beautiful, beautiful prayers, then Lord Chaitanya became Hasiya sunena Prabhu Srivasera stuti Sadaya haya bale Srivasera prati. The Lord smiled after hearing the prayers of Srivas. Being compassionate, he started to ask Srivas Pandit to ask any benediction along with his wife, to come and seek any benediction he wanted. As I was mentioning before, Srivas Pandit is the incarnation of Narada Muni. Great sages, great saints, great devotees do not need to come to this material world to learn anything or to get any purification. They only come due to the causeless mercy towards us who are struggling here, battling between our higher self and lower self. The higher self always has desires to meet Krishna, to serve Krishna unconditionally, and the lower self can be represented by Rahu. is always trying to pull us down, is always trying to risk ourselves, our lives, our mission into fulfilling something which will never give us satisfaction. And they come, the great saints come again and again and again. When I was reading about, I studied about Purandara Dasa, who is also the incarnation of Narad Muni, who came just before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to set the scene in South India. He composed several songs just to establish personalism strongly, just to establish Vaishnav Dharma with bhakti as the primary rasa. So when Lord Chaitanya came to South India, he actually met Purandara Dasa. And again he appeared in Navadvip as Srivas Pandit. So these devotees don't give up on us. And there is this beautiful song I learned as a child. I never understood the meaning. I'm still trying to understand. And in those verses, Purandara Dasa is composing a deal. He's writing about a deal between the Supreme Lord and himself. And in one of those paragraphs, he's saying, Tanu manadana dali vanchitanadare yanage aane ranga manasu ninnali nillisadiddare ninage aane. Manassu ninnali nillisadiddare ninage aane ranga yanagu aane ranga ninagu aane yanagu ninagu ibbarigu nina bhaktarane. The great devotees were coming again and again, keeping them as a proof, as a promise. If ever I become disloyal, unchaste, in body, mind, or tanu, mana, dana, or wealth. If I become cheated, if I cheat myself, then I am responsible. But, my dear Lord, if you do not make my mind stay still on your lotus feet, then it is your fault. Let's make this deal, my Lord. If ever I do not associate with the devotees of the Lord, it is my fault. But if you do not send me good association, then it is your fault. If I ever associate Kaku manujara sangava madidare nage aane ranga laukikava ni bidisadiddare ninage aane. What a deal. If I ever associate with worldly minded people, it's my fault. But my dear Lord, if you do not make me give up materialistic mentality, then it is your fault. Hari ninna shraya madadiddare yanage aane. Hari ninna shraya madadiddare yanage aane ranga Purandara Vithala ninoliyadiddare ninage aane. If I do not take your shelter, then it is my fault. But if you do not become mine, then it is your fault. Yanagu aane, my promise. Ninagu aane, your promise. Let's clarify expectations. This is my promise, but you also need to make a promise. I will surrender to you, but you need to protect me. You need to protect me from my own mind. I guess this is a platform in which Srivas Pandit Purandara Dasa would sing, because they had that relationship with the Lord. A devotee of the Lord never commits a sin. He never actually makes a mistake. And unknowingly, if the devotee of the Lord makes a mistake, the Lord does not count it. This is what Purandara Dasa actually has written. And as a growing child, I would think, how? But I see so many mistakes. How is it possible? Because the relationship between a pure devotee and Krishna is not easily understandable. I will end with another verse, also by Purandaradasa, which exactly exemplifies and highlights and summarizes the verse today of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a verse that he composed. It goes like that, and I'll tell you the translation later. Adigadaaravilla ಹಿಡಿವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಂಬಿಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟೆನಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ತಪ್ಪಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯ ಸುಖ ಪಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಉಣ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಾಯ ಮರೆತಂತಾಯಿತಲ್ಲ ಬಡತನವು ಬಿಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಭಂಗಪಟ್ಟೆನಲ್ಲ ಗರುಡ ಸರ್ಪನ ಸ್ನೇಹದಂತಾಯಿತಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನ ಮನ ದುಬ್ಬಸವ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ ಬಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನ ಮನ ದುಬ್ಬಸವ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿಯೇ ಬಲ್ಲ. This is a prayer to the Lord. No foundation for our root, means the root of the soul, in my activities. There's no horns to catch off my material desires. I suffered so much running after illusory happiness. In the search for pleasure is often the greatest source of trouble. Tears have been flowing from my body so much, and those tears have never given me any comfort, even to this material body. My trying to enjoy in this world is like trying to eat with forgetting my mouth. By trying to gain, I have become poor. My trying to enjoy here is like a friendship between eagle and a serpent. Only Lord Hari knows my dilemma and my struggle. How I am trying to look for happiness in the wrong places. So please, dear Lord, dissolve my illusions and make my mind fixed on your lotus feet. Shri Shri Shivas Pandit ki, Shri Shri Narada Muni ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. We have 5 minutes. Any comments? Yes, Mahalakshmi Mataji. The mic, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your class. You mentioned something that caught my attention, that you were saying that Rahu reflects on us our anarthas. And I was not understanding this, and a thought came that it's like if there is a beautiful lake with lotuses, the moon can reflect on that. No? So I thought maybe it's like something similar, no? That if we have anarthas in our hearts, then Rahu pointed at them, something like that. And the question is, you also mentioned that he filters those anarthas, and that's the point that I didn't understand. So,
not only Rahu, but all the planets in our charts, they basically, we can get indication of our anarthas. Whatever, I mean, you don't need astrology. We already kind of can be aware what are our weaknesses. Astrology is a scoreboard. It's a scoreboard. You know, when you're playing soccer, there's a scoreboard that says 3-2, 3-4, whatever it is. Or in cricket, 350 runs and 4 wickets, something like that. So, astrology is not making us do things. The astrological chart works because there is free will. We created it. We desired it. We deserved it. So, it is like a mirror. Whatever is in our mind, in our karma, our baggage, the astrological chart is reflecting that. Just like a scoreboard. You can see this is your score. In this lifetime, this is how you have played your game. By looking at it, studying very nicely, becoming expert doesn't make you play a better game. It is what it is. But to learn to play a better game is sadhana bhakti. That's how we can overcome all those anarthas, all those tendencies. So it's not only Rahu, all the planets reflect good karma, bad karma that we have done. And especially Rahu, it reflects, in other words, is like whatever we have in our mind, how do we know? So like when you go to the hospital, you make a scan. So when you make a scan in your wherever, the stomach area, you see the information. So astrology is like that scan. Oh, you figure out there is cancer, there is that, there is this, whatever it is. So the example you mentioned about reflection in the water, I don't see that as a connection, because it's more like it's a reflection of our own karma and our own consciousness. And Rahu specifically reflects or represents our entanglement karma. What is entangling us? What are those desires which are not favorable for our spiritual life? That is represented by Rahu. Each area represents different things. And Rahu represents that material desire, strong material desire that we have. Does it help? Yeah. Filter Rahu. Krishna uses Rahu as a filter to, for example, a jiva is trying to go to Krishna, right? And we need to be a pure devotee to reach Krishna. So there are filters. Different filters are there. So Rahu is one of the filter of strong material desire. Depending on how we have worked on it, like in a subject in the school, during your year, if you have paid attention, you have learned that, then during the exam, you're confident. But if we have neglected that, then when we reach the examination time, we actually don't feel confident or comfortable. And that's like Rahu traps us. Just we are like, oh, everything is going great. And then we go and, oh, I can do this, I can do that. We take risks, we get bewildered. It usually happens in marriages. Like a lot of times, like they think I will be brahmachari all life, or I will never get married to the wrong person. And when Rahu period comes, they somehow get convinced, even if there's no compatibility, even if there are many red flags, even if everybody around is telling them, don't do this, this is not a person for you. They just are convinced, no, I can handle it. So that's the filter. And then what happens, it becomes a little bit hard. You can still go through. Filters are usually, you still get the best off. And then after Rahu comes Saturn, after a couple more, and then Saturn comes. So that's the time we face the consequences of certain stupid mistakes we did in Rahu. And that's how it's all the filters, different filters Krishna creates. So we become pure. Just like the gold has to become pure, it goes through all the fire and everything, then it becomes pure. So similarly, Rahu is a filter, meaning Krishna used this pastime, the Rahu taking the nectar, in order to engage him in service, just like Maya Devi is also in service of Krishna. She's the Durga, she's the fort that's keeping us in this material world. So Rahu is like doing the same function. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.